Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Are you considering immigrating to Canada but are not sure about the recent changes to their immigration policies? In this video, we will break down how Canada's tightening of immigration is affecting potential immigrants who are not considering a permanent residence route. Canada's immigration has been growing rapidly, reaching 41 million in April 2024, with immigration accounting for almost 98% of this growth in 2023. However, the government has announced plans to reduce immigration targets, capping the number of permanent residents at 395,000 in 2025, 380,000 in 2026, and 365,000 in 2027. But what does this mean for potential immigrants? With the government focusing on temporary residents, international students and foreign workers face new challenges. The international student program has been reformed, and the eligibility requirement for temporary foreign workers have been tightened. This shift towards temporary residency may lead to a brain drain, as highly skilled workers may choose other countries with more permanent residency opportunities. The Canadian government recently announced that foreign nationals can no longer apply for post-graduation work permit (PGWP) at the border. This move aims to reduce flagpoling, a practice where temporary residents bypass online application wait time by leaving and entering Canada for same-day immigration services. What is flagpoling? Flagpoling uses significant border resources, taking officers away from enforcement and causing delays to travelers and goods. From March 1, 2023 to February 29, 2024, PGWP applicants comprised about 20% of those attempting to flagpole. A lot of you would ask, why would someone go through that route? I mean, there is a process of applying for your post-graduation work permit online. Even though the wait time for decision when you apply for your post-graduation work permit in Canada, range between 80 days to 180 days, people would rather go through the route of leaving Canada and coming into Canada by applying for the work permit, which was possible at the time before the announcement. People feel that, yeah, it's faster to do it that way. Why do I need to wait for 80 days to 180 days to get a decision? Even though you are not restricted from working at the time you apply for the post-graduation work permit, as long as you applied before the expiration of your student visa. For me, I think the government had to step in or put a measure to it, because imagine the border services, the immigration officers were at the border to attend to people who are coming into Canada from America. Some of them are driving into Canada. So their work is actually to check people coming into Canada, check their cars, check their documents. So now imagine an immigration officer who is expected to carry out the work of vetting travelers who are coming into Canada. Goods are also coming into Canada from America that needs to go through the immigration. Now, you would divert such immigration officers' attention from doing so, meaning that would, lead to long wait time for those who are traveling from other countries, like America, for example. They will have to wait for an immigration officer who is now attending to, temporary residents trying to change a study permit to post-graduation work permit, which ordinarily could have been launched, through the online application portal. If though it doesn't stop the student from working as long as you applied for your study, your post-graduation work permit before the expiration of your student visa. You don't have a problem, except for example, maybe that student needed to travel out of the country and you can't do so if you don't have your post-graduation work permit. Then that's an exception cases. I mean, people should not take advantage of that loophole, as you may call it. From March 1, 2023 to February 29, 2024, PGW Play applicants comprised about 20% of those attempting to flagpole. Why the change? The government wants to encourage applicants to apply within Canada, improving processing times and moving towards a more integrated and centralized working environment. This change promotes fairness amongst applicants and helps reduce flagpole, ensuring smoother border experience for Canada and the US. The influx of immigrants has strained housing and social services, particularly in cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. The government has introduced measures to accelerate the home building, but the scale of in-migration makes it difficult for the housing supply to keep up. Increased demand. High immigration rates have led to a surge in housing demand, driving up price and rentals. The more people migrate to Canada, the more housing they will require. Housing shortages. The supply of affordable housing has struggled to keep pace with demand, exacerbating the shortage. Higher cost. Increased competition for limited housing stock has driven up costs, making it challenging for Canadians to afford homes. Increased demand. High immigration rates have led to a surge in housing demand, driving up prices and rent. Canada's two-step immigration system allows international students to apply for permanent residency after gaining work experience. However, this system has been criticized for being abused by educational institutions and applicants. The government needs to update immigration policies to focus on immigrant outcomes and long-term labor market needs. Step 1. International students come to Canada to study. Step 2. After gaining work experience, they can apply for permanent residency. For example, John is an international student from Africa. He comes to Canada to study business. After graduating, he works for 2 years, gaining valuable experience. He then applies for permanent residence through the Express Entry program. Some colleges and universities have been accused of selling fake diplomas or offering low-quality programs to international students. Canada's tightening of immigration policies has significant implications for potential immigrants. While the government aims to address the short-term labor market needs, it is essential to consider the long-term effect on the economy and the society. If you are considering migrating to Canada, why don't you consider your choices carefully? It might be worth it migrating to Canada through the permanent residency program. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments if these changes have affected your immigration plans. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.